These are the 6 simple postures that have been keeping Japan strong, mobile, and surprisingly spry well into their 70s and beyond. Japan isn't just home to people who occasionally hit 100. They've got 95,119 centenarians still out there being active, independent, and mentally sharp. Meanwhile, in America, the healthy lifespan often taps out at 66, followed by 12 years of pills, procedures, and those mysterious pill organizers with way too many compartments. The Japanese aren't just adding years to their life. They're adding life to their years. And no, it's not because of a secret mountain herb, a miracle drug, or magical samurai DNA. Since 1928, Japan has had a nationwide morning ritual where people gather to do a set of simple calisthenics to upbeat music. Not CrossFit, not boot camp, just gentle movements you can do without sweating through 3 t-shirts. It only takes 15 minutes, but the impact lasts decades. What you're about to see isn't some TikTok fitness fad. This is a system proven across an entire nation for nearly 100 years. And the best part? These aren't complicated moves that require a gym membership, resistance bands, or the flexibility of a Cirque du Soleil performer. They're natural postures designed to work with your body, not against it. Today, I'm breaking them down step by step, so you can fit them into your body, your schedule, and your fitness level. Because the goal isn't just to live longer. The goal is to live better, and ideally not pull a muscle every time you reach for your shoelaces. All right, let's dive in with the first movement that sets the foundation for everything else, Shikodachi. That's spelled Shikodachi. It translates to Sumo Stance, or 4-legged stance. This position comes straight from sumo, the national sport of Japan, practiced for over 1,500 years. Sumo wrestlers use it to build the kind of leg strength that lets them shove a 400-pound opponent out of a ring. Don't worry, you won't need to fight anyone in a diaper now. Before you panic and say, "I can't squat," hear me out. This isn't the dreaded deep squat of gym nightmares. Shikodachi is simply a wide stance that works with your body's natural mechanics. Here's how you do it. Stand with your feet about twice shoulder width apart, toes pointing outward at about 45 degrees. Slowly lower your hips as if you're about to sit between your legs. Keep your back straight, chest open, and rest your hands on your thighs if you need support. Why is Shikodachi so powerful? Because it wakes up the muscle groups modern life has put into a coma. Your quads, glutes, and inner thighs, the same muscles you need for sitting, standing, climbing stairs, and not toppling over when a gust of wind hits. Biomechanical studies show this stance actually activates more muscle fibers than a traditional squat. Plus, it opens your hips, which is critical as we age. Sitting all day tightens the hips, which leads to back pain, knee pain, and the dreaded shuffle walk. Shikodachi helps reverse that. Start by holding the position for 20 to 30 seconds. Don't force it, your body will adapt. If you feel wobbly, grab a chair or wall for balance. The most common mistake? Arching your lower back, which shifts the work away from your legs. Keep that spine neutral as you get stronger. Build up to holding it for 1 to 2 minutes. Professional sumo wrestlers can hold Shikodachi for 15 to 20 minutes. But we're not training for the ring. We're training for everyday life. The kind where you can get out of a chair gracefully instead of launching yourself out like a catapult. Now that you've got the foundation strength from Shikodachi, we'll move on to something that challenges your balance in a whole new way. This next movement is called Nekowashi Dachi. That's Nekowashi Dachi, which literally means cat foot stance. The name comes from its uncanny resemblance to a cat about to pounce. Light on the feet, alert, and ready for explosive movement. Basically, you're channeling your inner house cat, minus the fur, attitude, and tendency to knock water glasses off counters at 3 a.m. This stance comes from traditional karate, developed by martial arts masters during the Edo period. And it addresses something most people over 50 struggle with, but rarely admit out loud. Balance and stability. Here's how to set it up. Step 1, foot forward, but here's the twist. Only the ball of your front foot touches the ground, like a cat gently testing a surface before deciding whether to jump or to just stare at it for an hour. Your back foot stays fully planted, holding about 70% of your weight. Keep both knees slightly bent and your hips facing forward at first. This might feel awkward, kind of like your first attempt at yoga when you realized your hamstrings were, in fact, made of concrete. But that's the point. Nekowashi Dachi forces your stabilizer muscles, the ones modern life has put into early retirement, to wake up and get back to work your ankle muscles. Deep hip stabilizers and core all have to team up here, like an awkward Avengers squad dedicated solely to keeping you upright. And these are the exact muscles that prevent falls, help you feel steady on uneven surfaces, and keep you from clinging to every handrail like it's a lifeline. What's really fascinating is how this stance strengthens the tiny muscles in your feet, the ones that give you an arch and real stability. Thanks to modern shoes and our flat, cushy flooring, those little muscles have basically gone soft. Nekowashi Dachi brings them back to life. Kind of like rehab for your feet if you're just starting out. Practice next to a wall or sturdy chair. Hold the stance for 20 to 30 seconds per side, then switch. The goal isn't to look like a karate master on day one. It's simply to challenge your balance system bit by bit as you improve. You can add small weight shifts between your front and back foot, or even move your arms slowly while holding the position. Think Tai Chi, but sneakily disguised as cat cosplay now. We've built leg strength with Shikodachi and improved balance with Nekowashi Dachi. But buckle up, because the next movement takes things to a whole new level. The next movement is one of the secrets to why Japanese people can stand tall well into their 80s. We're going to tackle something that sneaks up on almost everyone over 50, or inner Seiza, that's Seiza, which literally translates to proper sitting or correct sitting. And yes, sitting can actually be an exercise. Sorry, couch doesn't count. This traditional posture dates back to the Muromachi period and became a cornerstone of Japanese etiquette. Historically, Seiza was practiced in homes with tatami floors during tea ceremonies, formal meals, and meditation. Basically, the Japanese found a way to turn sitting into a full-body upgrade while the rest of us were inventing lazy boys. Here's the truth about posture after 50. It's not about forcing your shoulders back like a soldier or pretending you're balancing a book on your head. Real posture starts from the ground up. Here's how to do it. Kneel with your knees together. Fold your feet so the tops are flat on the floor. Toes pointing back. Slowly lower your hips until you're sitting on your heels. Keep your spine tall, not stiff like a board, but naturally upright. Like you're proud of yourself for finally doing yoga without toppling over. What makes Seiza so powerful is how it stretches your quadriceps and hip flexors, the very muscles that get chronically tight from sitting in chairs all day. Tight quads pull your pelvis forward, leading to that hunched over, "I've been carrying groceries for 40 years" look. Seiza helps undo that. It also forces your deep core and spinal stabilizers to wake up. Unlike sitting in a chair where your back muscles go on vacation, this position makes them earn their keep. Think of it as a gentle strength training session disguised as just sitting. If Seiza feels intense on your knees, slip a firm cushion between your hips and heels. No shame in modifying. Your knees will thank you later. Start with 30 seconds to a minute, then build up to 3 to 5 minutes. You can even sneak it in while watching TV, reading, or meditating. Just maybe warn your family first so they don't think you joined a samurai reenactment group now. Once we've got this solid postural foundation, we level up with something that transforms not just your posture, but your core strength and even your stress levels. It's called Zazen, Z-A-Z-N, which literally means seated meditation. This ancient Zen Buddhist practice originated in Japanese monasteries during the Kamakura period. Monks would hold this posture for hours daily, building both mental focus and physical resilience. And yes, that means their core workouts made our planks look like child's play. Most modern core exercises totally skip the deep stabilizer muscles that actually matter in daily life. Zazen fixes that. Here's how: sit on the floor with your legs crossed. If you're super flexible, try lotus, each foot on the opposite thigh. If not, simple cross-legged works perfectly. The key is your spine. Imagine a string pulling the top of your head toward the ceiling. Keep your shoulders relaxed, chest open, and chin slightly tucked, like you're calm, confident, and maybe a little smug about finally finding inner peace. Zazen engages your spinal stabilizers, the multifidus and transverse abdominis, fancy names for the deep core muscles you didn't know existed. At the same time, your legs get a deep stretch through the hips, quads, and inner thighs. Neuroscience research even shows Zazen with deep breathing lowers cortisol, reduces stress, and promotes cellular regeneration. In other words, it helps you live longer, calmer, And maybe even tolerate your in-laws. Better start with 5 to 10 minutes using a cushion under your hips to elevate your pelvis. This makes alignment easier and keeps your legs from falling asleep in 30 seconds flat. Focus on breathing deeply and naturally. Don't force your legs into painful positions. This isn't a flexibility competition. As you practice, your hips will open over time. Work up to 20 minutes daily if you can. With Seiza, you've built the foundation. With Zazen, you've trained your deep core and calmed your nervous system. Together, they're like hitting the reset button on your posture, balance, and even your mood. All right, we're getting close to the end, but don't relax just yet. This next movement might be the most challenging one so far. Don't panic though. It's also one of the most rewarding. This is Kibadachi, Kibadachi, which translates to horse riding stance. The name comes from its resemblance to sitting on a horse. In ancient Japanese martial arts, particularly karate, samurai would practice this stance to build the kind of leg and core strength needed to stay grounded in battle. Imagine holding this while wearing armor. Suddenly your living room doesn't seem so bad. Here's how you do it. Position your feet parallel, about shoulder width apart. And then add another foot wider. Bend your knees and lower your hips like you're sitting in an invisible chair. Keep your feet pointing forward, your back straight, your core engaged, and arms relaxed at your sides. Kibadachi targets the big movers, quads, glutes, inner and outer thighs, but also the unsung heroes, your hip stabilizers and core. It's phenomenal for improving lateral stability, the side-to-side kind most exercises ignore. In fact, studies show it develops proprioception, your ability to know where your body is in space. Basically, it's like installing an internal GPS to help prevent trips, slips, and embarrassing. I swear the floor just moved. Moments start with 20 to 30 seconds, 3 sets, with rests in between. As you build strength, extend to 1 to 2 minutes. Martial arts masters often hold it for 5 minutes or more, but remember, they were preparing for duels, not desk jobs. If balance is an issue, set up near a wall. And don't let your knees cave inward. This isn't knock-kneed karaoke night. Now, for our final movement. This one isn't traditionally Japanese, but it blends ancestral wisdom with modern sports science. And it's probably familiar. The wall squat. Here's how: stand with your back against a flat wall. Feet about 12 inches away and shoulder width apart. Slide down until your knees form a 90 degrees angle, like you're sitting in an invisible chair that, sadly, offers no actual comfort. Keep your knees over your ankles, not past your toes. This posture torches the quads, glutes, hamstrings, and core. Unlike regular squats, the isometric hold keeps constant tension, building endurance and slow twitch. Fibers, the muscles that keep you upright through life's marathons, or just the marathon trip from couch to fridge. Start with 30-second holds and gradually build up to 2 to 3 minutes. Breathe steadily. If you catch yourself holding your breath, you're probably working harder than you think. Want an upgrade? Place a softball between your knees and gently press. It cranks up the thigh activation and keeps your knees aligned. And here's the beauty of it all. Now you've learned 6 movements. You can fit them into 2 short daily sequences. Morning reset, 2.5 minutes, 30 seconds of Seiza to wake up your posture muscles, 1 minute of Zazen to activate your core and center your mind, 30 seconds of Nekowashi Dachi on each side to prime your balance. Evening release for minutes, 1 minute of Shikodachi to open your hips after a day of sitting, minute of Kibadachi to build deep leg strength, 2 minutes of wall squat as your progress marker. Week 1 and 2. Focus on learning the form, not on duration. Don't worry if you look awkward. Everyone does it first. Week 3 and 4. Increase your hold times by 15 to 30 seconds each week. Remember, your goal isn't to outlast a sumo wrestler. It's to be stronger than you were last week. Month 2 and beyond. Add variations, gentle movements, eyes closed balance drills, or flows between positions. The Japanese concept of kaizen, continuous small improvements, is exactly how you'll get lasting results. Look, Japan doesn't have some secret fountain of youth hidden on Mount Fuji. What they do have is a culture of daily movement that supports the body's natural design. These 6 positions aren't just exercises, they're how your body was meant to move. The difference between aging strong and independent or slipping into frailty often comes down to these small, daily choices. These movements are your choice to age on your own terms, so tell me in the comments. What's your biggest concern about starting a new routine? I read every comment and will respond with advice for your situation. And if we hit 100 comments, I'll reveal another Japanese longevity secret that almost nobody in the West knows about if you found this helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, because trust me, we're just getting started.